Mm, 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 mm. I have the playoffs. The playoffs are cool. But now it's time to take you fools to school. Alright. Intro aside, it is time to talk about day 6 of the NBA playoffs. Whew. Alright, so last night's docket. And you know what? I'm going to be completely honest. I had zero intentions of having to watch the Memphis Grizzlies game. I am going to be completely honest. It was a foregone conclusion to me that the Thunder were going to win, but I could have never in a million years predicted how they would go on to win that game. Because seriously, what on earth was that? Like, actually, I have no idea how it came down to that. It was insane. So I had given up on that game around the time when I saw the score was just a little bit out of reach. Before Ja got injured, spoilers. The score was 37 to 65 at that point in time, and it was a foregone conclusion to me that the Grizzlies were going to win that game, barring a massive upset, injury, or Shea becoming God. And let's just say 2 of those things happened. 2 of those things did indeed happen. We're going to talk about that game first because it actually turned out to be the night's most interesting game, somehow. By the way, happy Friday. Guys, you made it. Congrats. It's Friday-alicious and whatnot. So, last night was really, it was really something. Let's just say that. Why are the box scores not here? The heck? Thank you. The fucking website. NBA website, bro. Much as I love the brand and the players and coaches, I don't really like GMs, to be honest. Much as I like those guys, what the heck, bro? Websites, By the way, even after Ja got injured and this game became really close, I was like, Memphis could still win this. And then they didn't. Right? Okay, so first of all, let's talk about this, because this is the first Thunder game where all of the Thunder players that you're accustomed to being, like, really good showed up and were really good. Jalen Williams had 26 points on really good splits, just from the field at least. I can't really check the true shooting percentage because, again, I'm using the NBA website, and I don't think you idiots know what true shooting is. Don't blame me. I'm the one with the small YouTube channel who's putting his life on the line by calling you stupid. That's not my fault. Anyway, Chet had 24 points. That's, 2 points less than that guy, but hey, 5 less minutes. The same amount of shots. He really just made one more shot. Jay just made one more shot than him. Anyway. Free throws also played. Interesting. Whatever. Isaiah Joe had a good game. Caruso had a good game. Shea finally showed up. Now, again, I think he's shooting way too many threes. I think 6 is the amount that I want him to shoot. Because 6 is... if he shoots 6, I reasonably think he can make 3 or 4 of those shots. He's shooting 7. He shot 7 last night. That's a little bit too much. I know that's kind of like nitpicking, considering the guy had 31 points. But again, I would like to see him make more go to the free throw line more often. 9 is a good amount. I think this is finally the first Shea game that I've been looking for. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Watching the game was really hard because I had to watch I was watching the Clippers game at the same time. I had kind of given up on this game, so I'm really I'm gonna have to use a lot of box score information to really fill up my opinion on this game. Because I cannot lie to you, this game was not going. I didn't. First of all, I couldn't. I'm gonna be honest. When the game started, when the TNT broadcast finally switched from the end of the Knicks-Pistons game, which was my most anticipated game that night, into my least anticipated game that night, and then my second anticipated game came on at 10 o'clock after this game started, not even like deep into this game. I was like looking over like, what the... Anyway, let's look. Come here real quick. We're going to look at the other Grizzlies players. So, Ja only played 15 minutes last night. Again, he was injured. He had 15 points, and he was having a great night. I think he probably would have shot more threes if he didn't get injured, and that would have led to him making less of them, just based on his percentages. But he was having a great night last night until he fell on his chest. And before people go, oh my goodness, another undercut by a player being physical, that physicality is not a bad thing. Ja trying to jump where he jumped from was a bad thing, because what the was that? Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. Me seeing a jaw injury did not make me go, oh my God, that's so tragic. That's something I could have never expected. Honestly, if I had to predict any player's injuries in the league, it would be Ja's. His play style is not conducive to staying healthy. It's entertaining when it's working, yes. But this is not going to be a long, healthy career that Ja's going to have. And this is also another reason why they're in this spot in the first place. Because Ja was injured. Because of Jaren Jackson Jr. is not a number one option. This is stuff that I'm not surprised by. By the way, Bane finally had one of his worst games. I think it's funny that, the night that the Grizzlies were having their best game, that Bane was having is one of his worst. It is what it is. Zach Edey, there's really not much to say about it. 9 points. He's a rookie. There's not much to say. I mean, he's going to be a core part of the rotation if they're going to continue to make it the playoffs and stuff like that. So I would like for him to get more shots. But it is what it is. If they had a better coach, maybe I could see them trying to improve his game. Oh, Marvin Bagley didn't play. Isn't that strange? Santi Aldama had a decent game. There's not a lot to say about this. I'm looking at the numbers. A lot of these guys had really decent games. Scottie Pippen Jr. was amazing last night, actually, though. Even in the small amount of time that I got to watch him. And I'm not just saying that because I saw his numbers and was like, oh my God, fucking 28 points from Scottie Pippen Jr. Who do you think you are, your daddy? Right? No, he was, dude, 60% from three, 50% from the field. Free throws. He made all of his free throws. He was in the zone. Unless we're talking about assist to turnover ratio, in which case it's 1-to-1 and it's 5-5. So, yeah. But I'm going to be honest, this team generates a lot of turnovers anyway, and that's probably why they look so bad. That's why they lost the game. They lost on the turnover margin, which is not surprising. I'm going to be completely honest. The Memphis Grizzlies team, because of their pace and how much fast they play, they often turn the ball over, and they're also just playing against a historically great defense in OKC. And even though their defense looked historically bad to begin this game, and they look like they only won because of Ja getting injured, you still have to acknowledge how good of a defense they are. They did look vulnerable this game. They looked human. The Cleveland Cavaliers have also looked human in their first round series, and I don't want to alarm anyone, but it looked a lot worse for OKC because of how the gap was even larger. I think. No, sorry, my bad. It looked worse for OKC because the gap in the game became larger than it's ever been in the Cleveland series. And also, the Cleveland series is whatever. They're clearly not taking Miami as seriously as they possibly could. I don't expect them to either. Kenny Atkinson had one of the greatest moments the night previous. But, we're here to talk about OKC and not the other 60-win team because they're playing on opposite days for some reason. I don't know. This game, honestly, I'm going to be completely... I understand that Ja Morant is box office. This should have been an NBA TV game. And the Clippers-Nuggets series, that one should have been the TNT broadcast. I'm tired of them. The most entertaining games of the night often are either the first East game, because it'll be Pistons-Knicks, or the NBA TV game. I don't know what to tell you. I think that they just picked that one up, not knowing their teams. But what do I know? Shea. If Shea's going to play like that, you're going to have a good series. You're going to be great. And then this series is over. They're up 3-0. No team is literally no team has come back from 3-0, let alone missing their best player. Yeah, it's over. So I'm not going to talk about this series anymore, ever. I probably won't even watch Game 4 because I'm going to assume that they're not going to be able to beat them. I probably won't watch it. I might actually have to watch it, though. So, Pistons Knicks, the fucking most entertaining game. I can say that now because we're almost 10 minutes in. The most entertaining game of the night. Holy So Cat heard the criticism. He didn't like that you guys were talking shit and telling the truth about him being bad in game 1 and really bad in game 2. So he heard the noise, and actually it looks like the entire Knicks team heard the noise. They were like, "What do you mean we're not a contender?" And they had, Jalen Brunson had 30 points. Now it wasn't the most efficient night from him because, but yeah, no, the 11 free throws. He shot 13 free throws. So if you ever look at a player's field goal percentage and it's like low, right? But they shot a lot of free throws that night. That means they had a good night, in my opinion. And the reason I say they had a good night in that case is because, drawing free throws is the most important thing in a basketball game. It keeps the defense honest. It makes them in foul trouble often. They can't guard you nearly as much. Can't be as physical for fear of the whistle. And more importantly, once you have a defender in jail like that, there's so much. The game opens up a lot more. And even when the game slows down in pace, you being able to get to the free throw line is a very important skill. So yeah. By the way, though, 9 to 20 is not terrible shooting for the field. If we were just ignoring that, I don't think that's bad shooting from the field. And if you do, you're probably like biased, to be honest. Even though it comes out to be 45%, if you actually look at the numbers, it's different. Yeah, 30 points is amazing. He had 13 free throws. He made 11 of those. That's actually really good. Yeah, he had a amazing game last night. And Jalen Brunson has been like that this entire playoff series. I'm gonna be honest. As much as I've been giving him flack for some of these free throw calls have been BS. Not free throw call, foul calls have been BS. I can't hate on the player for that. That's a referee thing. And you shouldn't hate the player for that. You should hate the refs for having that issue. By the way, Cat, remember when I was telling you, like, oh my God, he sucked? Yeah, so Cat realized that he needs to shoot more threes because last game I think he only shot 6 of them. I think he may have made 1. I could check, but I'm not going to. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. Yeah, no, Cat had 31 points, which was a game high, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, was a game high. He had a great game. He made all of his free throws. He got to the line 7 times. That's actually really impressive for Cat, especially because he's not considered to be a very dangerous driver. That means he's been put in the seat to actually get those things, to get to the free throw line. Yeah, and 7 free throws also means he was probably fouled on it. It was a technical foul or was it 3? I don't think he was fouled on 3 last night. I'm pretty sure there's a technical free throw. Might have been a technical free throw where Brunson wasn't in. That's what I'm thinking it is. He shot 50% from the 3-point line, and he shot 56% from the field. He was amazing. Jalen Duren clearly can't guard him, and Paul Reed minutes are terrible. Do not let the TNT broadcast team tell you that Paul Reed's minutes are a good thing for this team. I want to see Beef Stewart back. And I think it's the craziest happened last game. Bro, last night, they saw like an on-court altercation between them. Immediately the camera's like, we gotta see what Beef Stew is thinking. We gotta know. He's on the bench like, okay. Noted. Or at least that's how I interpreted it, because for real, he was on the bench like, he looked over and was like, I know I'm not on camera right now. What did I even do? Josh Hart had a Josh Hart game. He took less shots, which that's good for me. He had 11 rebounds, 4 of them offensive, 7 of them defensive, 9 assists, and 2 steals and 2 blocks. He literally looks like a Swiss Army knife out there. He looks like a poor man's Draymond. He looks like a poor man's prime Draymond Green, in my opinion, and that's a really important role to have in the NBA. He is a Swiss Army knife. He is so important for the team. I love his role on this team. OG Anunoby did not take as many shots as normal, in my opinion. But that's probably for the best, because Cat should be taking more shots. He looked like a third option on this team. Mikal Bridges also looked like a third option on this team. I know there can only be one third option on the team, obviously, but these guys were very good in their tertiary roles, and I don't actually know the word for fourth, so you're gonna have to live with that. Actually, it's good. Campaign. So unlike the last game previous to this one, he wasn't in immediate foul trouble. I'm allowing him to suck. It was fine. Their bench production is still lacking, obviously, but if they're gonna play their stars this many minutes and it's playoff time, you should be playing your stars this many minutes, in my opinion, especially when you have this many of them and at the bare minimum, low offensive stars or low all-stars, like guys that are not going to make all-NBA teams, those tiers of all-stars, you know, if you have those on the roster, they should be playing minutes. Every minutes in a playoff series. And then Cat and Jalen Brunson are obviously all-NBA players. I think this formula could work in the playoffs, provided they get a good matchup, because I think we all know for a fact that if they play against Cleveland and or Boston, and even if they make it all the way out of the conference, they would have to play against OKC or whatever team comes out of West, and they're not going to beat them. But this formula is pretty good. The formula is pretty interesting, I will say. It's very entertaining, and these guys, when they have it going on, they make you think that they can win a championship. That being said, they only won by 2 points, you know, on the Pistons, so, I mean, take that as you will. So let's talk about this. Malik Beasley. Don't let that one poster Instagram showed you think he had a good game. This nigga was dog shit. Holy shit. You in them 6-man conversations, they need to fucking stop. Nah, but that's a regular season award anyway. By the way, Peyton won that one. I was right about that one, him winning it, even though I don't think he should have won it. Hey, I've been right about my prediction on Evan Mobley winning it. Congratulations to him. I think him or Darius Garland will be my next jersey for the wall. So if anyone wants to have some like weight in that conversation and what you want me to do with it, we'll do that. We'll figure that out. And if not, I could always put it somewhere in here. I guess I'll I'll probably hang the LeBron one over my desk, so it won't be in frame, but it'll be in a more important place for me, I guess. And then I'll have the current guys there, you know? Yeah, but regardless of that, that's not really relevant to the video and the topic. Cade had a decent game. Not the greatest, but he had a decent game. He didn't get to the line nearly as often as I thought he would in this game. I'm not really sure what that was about. His turnovers were far too high. This is the most assists he's had in the game, but this is the most turnovers he's had in the game by far as well. And the ball handling could have been better. I'm gonna be honest. There have been a lot of moments where he's got it poked or stripped or whatever. Yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr. finally made an appearance. Oh my goodness. Now most of his shots were threes, if not all but one were threes, and they were going in at a good clip. Tim Hardaway Jr. was one of their entire reasons they were even in this game. I'm not going to lie, Detroit might lose on the fact that Tobias Harris was also in foul trouble last night. The reason he was in foul trouble is because they have him guarding Cat, and that's not a good recipe for success. In an ideal world, you would have, instead of Tobias Harris guarding him, because it's Tobias Harris, he's like a foot shorter than him and not as athletic or as tall as he would need to be to really bother Cat, just because Cat is a spacer. They need to have Beef Stew back immediately. That way, when Cat gets into the post, they can switch that, and Tobias can probably pull the chair out of him from under him and get to Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby in that scenario, and have that guy go over there to get to these guys in the corner threes. I think it would be more effective to have Tobias guard the Mikal Bridges though, because Mikal is going to come for the mid-range shot in that action. So yeah. Jalen Jordan had another great game, in my opinion. This was probably his best game so far. He keeps improving. He's had very impactful dunks last night. They were coming in at very crucial and pivotal times. Really, they lost this game, again, similar to the Grizzlies, and why they lost the game on the turnover margin. They got to be better at that. And, yeah, they just have to be better at that. And also, obviously, Malik Beasley. If Malik Beasley shoots better, they win. Simple as that. If Malik Beasley's shooting holds up, we were worried about this team offensively in the playoffs. All of these other guys. Malik Beasley is the X guy. He's the X factor, the glue guy, the thing that makes this all work together. If he can hit his threes, which again I would like to remind you is most of his shots, they will win this series. There's not a minuscule of doubt in my mind they will win this series. I think. Seriously though, but I think they need to like try and get Lindy Waters or Fontecchio out there. I think they need to try it at least once. I know their defense isn't as great, but they really are desperate on offense to get more production from their guys, and I think that might be the difference in the series. Just especially because the Knicks defense ain't shit. It isn't. In my opinion. Could be wrong. You gotta out-offense these guys because their defense is not enough. The Pistons defense was great though. I will say that. They got out-hustled last night too. That was a problem. So let's talk about the Clippers game. Jokic Jokic. The reigning MVP because, again, they haven't crowned the new one yet. All right, so let's talk about him in this game, right? So you might be wondering, why is the tone so negative, Vizquel? Why are you talking about him like that? Well, let's just say there's a little bit of a problem last night. So the Nuggets scored a measly 83 points, and so normally when you score 83 points, right, in a playoff game in the 2020s, you lose, right? But that probably means that both of the defenses were really on tonight. That's not the case. Like, at all. They got belt to ass. Nigga, the Clippers scored 117. And before this series, I do distinctly remember saying they're in trouble. And what I meant by them being in trouble was I for a fact thought if the Clippers can steal a game in Denver, Denver is going to have a terribly hard time trying to beat them in LA. And I was 100% right. All right? I want my flowers now. Russell Westbrook showed out to be Russell Westbrook again. He only had one turnover, which... Hey, bro. Good shit. Hey, but 1 for 5 from the field. And all of his shots were threes. That is not the recipe. It sure as shit isn't. 1 for 4 from 3 from Jamal. 1 for 4 from 3 from Jamal. No, I said that right. 1 for 4 from 3 from Jamal Murray. That's not enough. Him not taking 20 shots. And I know these statistics are not going to be flawed too. They're not going to tell you the entire story because this game was truly over way before this. And I'll tell you why it was over. I'll tell you why it was over so early. And it looked so bad. Julian Strawther played his first game and played fucking awful. Jalen Pickett played his first game in the playoffs. He played fucking terrible. Neither of these guys should be playing. They weren't playing in games 1 or 2. No one has gotten injured on this squad. Why did they play? What? They were just negatives. And I'm talking about, I saw them in the game before this was like completely out of reach. I have no idea why they were there. These guys got off to a slow start, and the Clippers started off hot. And it's reflected in their numbers, because Kawhi only took 17 shots that game. Norman Powell took 12 shots. That's probably the amount that I expect from him to take. He had 13 points on really good efficiency. No, that's not 13 points. It's 20 points. My bad. Plus minus is all the way out to the right for some reason. Put it next to minutesnba.com, please. He had 20 points, really good shooting. 21 points from Kawhi, really good shooting. Really good shooting, really. Like, actually really, really good shooting. And those two both had 2 turnovers combined, and the 2 turnovers came from Kawhi. Not the greatest ball handler, but he had 6 assists. So I'll 3-2 for him is not bad. Kawhi had 11 rebounds. They were getting out-hustled, to be quite honest. They were not getting the Nuggets weren't getting their offensive rebounds that they really needed to have second chance opportunities to stay in this game. It didn't happen. James played great. He had 20 points, 9 assists, and only 1 turnover. Another game from him where he's just amazing as a floor general and really getting this together. Now his shooting percentages, again, they're not going to look that good, but these are because of the shots James takes, these are good, and he's getting to the free throw line a decent amount. Considering, it's not like he's the primary ball handler. He's not the primary ball handler in a Halo Sixers offense. They actually run more plays than just, James Harden, please. I need you to score 40 tonight. Run more than that. Nicholas Batum remains to be one of the best 3-point shooters in the playoffs so far. Bogdanovic finally had a game where he scored a point. It was 2 points. That brings his playoff averages from a measly 0 to, 0 plus 0, that's 2, divided by 3, that becomes 0.6 points per game. Ben Simmons had another Ben Simmons game. I'm actually surprised he took 2 shots last night. It resulted in no points, but hey, I'm surprised he took 2 shots. Ben Simmons was Ben Simmons, so yeah. Clearly on the floor for his defense. Chris Dunn had another game where he shot pretty decently from 3. That's going to lead to enough. Honestly, Zubac might be the most impactful player last night. His defense on Jokic was amazing, as it has been for the most of the series. He had 5 offensive rebounds and 9. Oh, Jesus Christ! 5 offensive rebounds, 4 defensive rebounds, 9 total. That is out rebounded by Kawhi, but obviously these are harder to get rebounds for him. because it's fucking Jokic out there and Aaron Gordon. So they're doing rebounding by committee a little bit. Let me look at the rebound margin from them to make sure that I'm not tripping. Yeah, they got out rebounded and out hustled last night. That's their biggest issue. At least on the offensive glass. That would be the relative defensive glass for the other guys, just to be clear. They just got out rebound. I'm going to be honest. That might have been the biggest thing that happened there. Defensive compared to the offensive. Yeah. I guess box out more. Don't know what to tell you. Again, I didn't have a lot of time to watch these games last night because... Or not, I didn't have a lot of time. I was watching them and then, like, there were massive blowouts and, like, I couldn't be invested in the game anymore. Like, I know I gotta record these videos, but, like, man, there's only so much you can say in a blowout, to be quite honest. There's really only so much you can say. And considering that this video made it to the 26 mark, I guess only so much you can say is going to take you far enough in the video world. So, yeah, if you like this video, like this video. If you didn't like this video, tell me why you didn't like it in the comment section. Sorry, a little bit rude. I'm fighting my body today. Yeah, anyway, yeah, have a good day. I'll be watching the games that come out today. What are the games that come out today? If I'm not mistaken, it's Friday, which means, let's see, Friday. Orlando and Boston play again. I don't know if Jason Tatum's cleared to play. I don't know yet. So we'll figure that out. Bucks Pacers, that's finally in Milwaukee now, so we'll see about that. And then the game that's taking place in Minnesota is Lakers. That's the most important game of the night. I'll try to play extra to that one. And as far as the Bucks Pacers game, I will be watching that one in the background. Unless the Orlando game gets out of reach very quickly, I will be watching that one in the background of both of those two games. So, if you like this, again, though, if you like the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, don't dislike the video. Tell me why you didn't like it in the comment section. And we're all good from here. Goodbye.